hard to like give a ton of recommendations because I could see ways to use all of these different shades. Here, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we have a very exciting video. We have our first gel polish collection that we are seeing from Bemi Beauty Box Nudity collection, and they're creamy gel polishes. No glitters, no pearls. They are a creamy collection and they are all neutrals, which I love. I love when companies launch all neutral collections. I think that neutrals are just a great staple to have in your collection, something you're going to use often, something that a lot of clients tend to gravitate towards, especially if they don't love nail art. So I'm really excited about it. Bemi has been working on these gel polishes for quite a while, so I'm really interested to see what kind of formula they came up with. And we have a little insert here, which is, they call them Essential Gel Polish Colors, 3-step color gel polish. Creamy pigmented polishes that have a tack-free finish, which I like. Gel polish that self-levels, also I'm liking that. It says that it's effortless, extremely easy application, 7-free, vegan, cruelty-free, diverse shades, includes a whole bunch of different neutral shades. Again, something I also really like. Beginner to advanced, a gel polish that anybody can use. So I'm gonna give you guys my complete in-depth review. We're gonna talk about the packaging, we're gonna talk about the colors that are launched, the brush, application, all of that. Let's dive in. So we have a matte white packaging here, which originally I wasn't 100% sure about because I was thinking, hey, that's gonna get pretty dirty, but I have been kind of grabbing these and playing around with them, and none of the oils on my skin have been transferring to that matte, so that's been really nice. We have a really nice pinky rose gold handle here, and then we also have the swatches on the top, which I greatly appreciate. Not everybody stores their polishes on racks. A lot of people store them in drawers, so I think it's really important to include the colors on the top so they're easy to find, whether you store them against the wall or you store them in your drawer too. So I do really like that. I have not looked at the brush yet, so I am looking forward to that. It's actually really narrow. There's no dome at the tip, it's just straight across. So once I am applying these colors, I'll get a better idea of what I think of those, but I do like how narrow this brush is. This is my first look at the colors kind of all lined up like this too. So we have some kind of caramel tones, we have some taupey gray type of tones, we have some really light neutrals, and then we have some darker brown neutrals over here as well. This one looks really fun. It's kind of like a peachy tone over there too. The new Bemi Gel Polish collection releases tomorrow on Thursday as part of like their Black Friday sales event. I don't believe like the actual new collection is on sale, but
these are not included in the Black Friday sale. However, I do feel like these are priced at a really good price point for a high quality gel polish, as well as for like the larger bottles that they are, because they are 15 ml, which we talk about in a little bit here.
They wanted to launch it on the same weekend so that you guys could save on shipping, which I think is fantastic. So apparently there's supposed to be some good deals on the Bemi website. I do number one in the collection, a light creamy neutral beige. A little bit on the warm side, I would say. Okay, so that is one thin coat. It went on very pigmented. It has a little tiny bit of kind of streakiness going around here, but it's supposed to self-level. So I'm really interested to see, with just letting it sit here, what it's gonna do, and then also cure it. And I will do a second coat. I think that, I don't know, I don't even really know if it needed a second coat, but just to kind of even things out, I am gonna do a second coat on this. So if you're curing it in an LED light, you need a 30 to 60 second cure, and UV cure is 2 minutes. And I also forgot to mention, these are 15 ml bottles as well. Finding that if you're noticing any streakiness or anything as you're applying it, just let it sit for a little bit, and it does self-level into itself, which is really nice. And especially for a neutral collection, sometimes nudes can be really hard to apply, and I find that this is going on pretty good. They also revamped their packaging for their matte top gloss and their shiny top gloss. So I'm gonna be using these top glosses today as well. They do recommend using a top gloss on top of the gel polish, even though it cures to a tack-free finish. I'm a big fan of the Bemi Tack Free Top Coat and the Bemi Matte. This is what number 1 looks like. It is a creamy beige type of color, would be a great background shade for different type of nail art designs as well. I also wanted to show it matte, so we have shiny and matte. Number 2 is a little bit darker than the last one, it looks like. Yeah, a little bit more of a darker beige shade. This is really pretty. This kind of sloppily here because I want to see it self-level out. Oh yeah, it's totally self-leveling out. That's great. This is what number 2 looks like. A little bit of a deeper creamy beige color than the last one. And here we have number 2 as matte and shiny. And then if you want a comparison to number 1, it's definitely just a little bit darker. Next up we have number 3. You could do some really nice ombreing with these different shades of neutrals. So a little bit more of a caramel neutral. I don't know if you guys are seeing there, but like when I apply it kind of sloppily, like it looks like really streaky and then it just melts into each other. It's really, really neat. This is number 3, warm caramel shade of neutral. Here we have number 3 as matte and shiny. There's our 3 colors so far. It's number 4. We're getting a little bit more pink toned here. So not so much of our beige tone. This is more of a pinky, a light pink tone. Cannot wait to see these all lined up. Like I just think they're gonna look so pretty. This is number 4, and it's just a little bit more of a pinky tone versus like the yellowy type of tones that we saw in the previous light. And this is number 4 matte and shiny, and our shades so far. So if you want to compare it to the lightest shade that we've already done, it's just a little bit more on the pinky side than like a beige creamy type of color. This is number 5. Number 5 is more of like a warm caramel color. This is number 5, and I just feel like you cannot have too many neutral colors. There's always a use for all of the different shades. And this is number 5 matte and shiny. We're getting a little bit more on like the pinky side over here now. Number 6. This is such a pretty color. It's like a nutmeg neutral type of shade. This is number 6. A little bit of a darker shade, still on the warm side though. And then we have number 6 matte and shiny. I'd be interested to see if this goes in like collections of 3, because right now I'm finding like light, medium, dark kind of beige colors, light, medium, dark kind of pinky colors, and just kind of looking at the rest of the colors that we have going on here, I'm wondering if it's the same type of thing. So this is number 7 next. It's a warm caramel shade, a little bit darker than the last one. And this is color number 7. So a little bit of a darker caramel color. Number 7 is matte and shiny as well. And here we are so far. So we're going a little bit more on the warm side over here too. It's kind of fun to see the progression of how these colors are kind of coming out. Number 8, It's like a taupey, it's actually like a warm taupey color. This is the darkest color in the collection. So this one here, I honestly don't know if it even needs a second coat. Like, it is super, super vibrant. This is number 8. A warm taupey neutral, matte, and shiny. And our progression so far of the different colors. So this is the darkest color in the collection on like the taupey side, and then we have this rosy one that's dark too. 6, 7, and 8 are the darkest ones in the collection. Next up we have number 9, and you are kind of like your vanilla bean creamy type of color. It's definitely warm toned. Noticing with your colors at all that it's looking a bit streaky, just let it kind of sit and it just kind of melts into itself. So that's really nice. This is number 9. So it has like a yellowy peach vanilla bean type of shade to it. And then this is it, matte and shiny. Number 9 is the brightest one in the collection so far. The last 3 that I have to share with you appear to have like a peachy tone to them. So this is number 10, and it's the lightest one of the 3, and it's got like a peachy pink tone to it. Number 9 was a little bit more yellow, and number 10 is a little bit more peachy toned. Number 10. This might be one of my favorite colors matte so far, with that peachy hue to it. So shiny and matte. So this one is fairly similar to the number 9. It's just a little bit more peachy toned, but they are kind of similar. Number 11. This is a stunning color. It's a pinky neutral, like a medium pink neutral. And this is number 11. A nice peachy pink shade. And our matte and our shiny. So it's definitely more on like the pink spectrum over here than say these ones over here, which are a little bit more taupey and a little bit more creamy. Very last color in the collection, number 12. And this one is like a dark peach color. This would make a fantastic blush color, but it is a warm dark peach shade. Number 12, a medium peachy shade. This is probably the most colorful one in the collection, I would say, with it being a little bit more on the peachy side. So I would, if you wanted to use this for like nail art, I think it would be just such a perfect shade for springtime. Here we are, matte and shiny. And this is where number 12 fits in our color lineup so far. A variety of shades of neutrals. My final thoughts on Bemi Beauty Box first gel polish collection. I really like that they went with a neutral collection for our first launch. I just think that shades like this are so versatile. They're something that get a ton of use, and I like that we have a variety of different tones for a variety of different skin tones, personal preferences for shades. I used to have a client that basically every single appointment that she would come in, she would get neutral nails, and a collection like this she would have loved, because she would go through all the different shades of neutrals that I had in my collection and she would get them every single time. There's a lot that you can do with different nail art when you have neutrals like this as the base, which is something that I also like as well. As far as the shade tone goes, I think we hit a lot of check boxes for a variety of different tones. So we've got some of our more warmer beige type of tones over here. We have some more of our rosy tones here. And then we also have like some taupies and some like caramel type of shades here. And then we're leaning into our peach tones here as well. As far as the formula goes, it was really nice to see that the majority of these colors applied really nicely in one thin coat. Because they're neutral, I would definitely recommend doing a second coat, but like this one here, which was number 8, when I was applying it, I was like, I don't even think I need to do a second tone. Like, I'm not seeing any like shadowing or imperfections or anything with it. It just went on so beautifully. And I also like that this formula has the ability to kind of, when you just paint it on and you just kind of let it sit, it kind of just evens itself out, which is something that I really like about this formula and a lot of formulas that we're seeing from different companies lately. It just makes it really easy to work with, and especially with the neutral collection, I wasn't entirely sure what sort of formula we were going to get with it being a first time gel polish launch from Bemi as well as a neutral collection. I was like, I feel like that's kind of bold just because light neutrals sometimes can be very difficult to apply. But overall, I think that this is a really nice collection. It is sold as a collection or individually. But if you're wanting the entire collection, once the actual collection sells out, it won't be available in a collection anymore. It's just available as individual ones. If you're looking for some recommendations for just a couple of them to pick up, I love number 8. I think that that is a really versatile one. I like that it's a little bit darker, great winter tone. Would work on a variety of different skin tones. I also really like number 11 with it being a little bit more of like a peachy pink. I do really like number 6 with it being like a rosy tone too, but that's kind of personal preference. I also really like number 4 with it being like a pinky light neutral. I don't know, you guys, it's hard to like give a ton of recommendations because I could see ways to use all of these different shades. Over my 10 years of doing nails and having a variety of different neutral colors in my collection, I can look at every single one of these and see something that I would do with it. I think the only one that I'm not loving, I guess, would be number 9, but I feel like that's kind of just stretching it. It's just that it's like a light peachy yellow color, and I feel like with it being a little bit yellow, it might wash out some different skin tones. Wouldn't be my favorite choice for a background for nail art. That's really the only one that I'm kind of like, maybe. Comment below and let me know what you are thinking of their new gel polish in general. What do you think of it being a neutral collection versus a bunch of different colors? What do you think of the tones? Which one would you gravitate towards? Once you pick it up and you get it into your collection, I'd be really curious to hear what you guys think about the formula, the application, the shades, all of that jazz. Make sure you comment below and let me know. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!